Here is my quick tutorial on how to do a selection profile in Interact Midwest Library Service Platform. First thing you do is you want to click on Collection Development. You're going to select Work with Selection Profiles. As you see, I have several set up, but we're going to create a new one. I'm actually just going to call this Mary. Let's say Save Profile Name. Now, since I'm the administrator, I have an extra button that asks if I want to let others see my profile, and I'm going to say Allow. If you are not an administrator, you're not going to have this button. You are the owner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select New Books, Sci-Tech, Law, and Choice. And I'm going to say I want them weekly. Again, Choice only comes out annual, but I want to add them to that list. So I'm going to actually select some profiles. So I'm going to actually say I want psychology, religion. I'm going to make the selection a little smaller and say I only want psychoanalysis. And then I'm going to say save those selections. Since I also asked for the University Press Law, I'm going to go back a minute, and I'm going to actually select law as one of the options. I'm going to select that whole selection. And I'm going to select science. And I'm going to select, I'm going to actually select physics. And I'm going to select this one, and then I'll move everything under physics. It'll say yes. And I think that's, I think I'll take genealogy. I'm going to do the same for this, and I want everything under genealogy. Go back to the top, say save these selections. I'm going to go back to my LC choices. And again, I'm going to say save these selections. I'm going to go back to working with profiles. I'm going to select Mary because I went a little too far. I'm going to actually add recipients to this profile. So I'm going to add a recipient. I'm going to add Elizabeth Grace. I'm going to say email her this list. That way she can actually order from it if she chooses. So if she sees something she likes, and I use the word order, but basically it's selection, because until you actually, the administrator says, yes, order this, it's not going to go anywhere. It's basically just a selection. All right, and then I'm actually going to add another recipient. I'm going to add myself to it so that I also get a copy of it. You don't have to do this. I do it just because it's me. I don't have to have it emailed to me. I can get it through Interact. So I don't actually have to look at it. So I can save that. So that is done. Now what I can do with this selection is I can also say database access. What I can do here is I can use that profile I just set up, and I can say, let me see everything. I'm just going to make it, I'm trying to make it as small as possible. I can select the years I want to look for something under Mary. So naturally, if you were doing this, you would actually pick a little more selective view. I'm going to hit submit. It's going to give me back a list of titles that are new in the areas that are profiled by Mary's profile. And here they are. I've gotten 1,500 matches. Again, that's way too many. If you're doing this, you're probably looking for something more specific. But just know that you can narrow your searches down to any selection you want. You don't have to have it emailed to you. You can change it as many times as you want. You can also export this. So if you need to send it to someone else, someone calls you and says, I want to see all the new books for the last couple years in international business. You can actually set this selection up. You can actually export this. So come out in Excel and you can send it to them. So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing I mentioned is notifications. So the ones that you don't, all of them actually go here. So whether they're emailed to you or not, they show up in your notifications and you can click on them and review any of them. You can also see how many show up in them. So, like this one that says 694, you definitely don't want to pick that up probably in an email. You probably think, oh, I should have made it smaller. I hope this helps. If you need any questions, please feel free to call me.